No, that's the reason why Proposition 8 passed.
Yeah.
Because Obama ran, so all the blacks came out to vote for Obama.
And they voted for Proposition 8.
They voted for Proposition 8. You know, it's like, and I'm saying to everybody, and then they had like, you know, they want to make a new proposition and do it again, right? And I'm saying like, wait till Obama runs again, right? Right. it'll always pass because the black people always be against that. They're always going to be for. You know, they had a proposition, or they had an election on that or something. What do they have? They passed it or something?
They passed it, the politicians in New York passed same-sex marriage.
Yeah. Right.
And now the military has to allow open gays into the military. So, like, they're in your foxhole.
Yeah, no, it's better if you don't ask and they don't tell, right?
Yeah, like they're in your foxhole, and you're all showering together.
Yeah.
Like there are three guys with like wood that won't stop.
You know, I got a buddy who just joined the army, and he's like always like, oh yeah, good, you know, they allow gays in the military. I'm not gay, but I'm happy about this, and I'm thinking, why are you advertising that? You know, it's like, oh, I joined the army to be with all the gays. I mean, like, oh, maybe they'll put you in the regiment with all the cross-dressers.
There are no atheists in a foxhole. There are no heterosexuals in a foxhole.
Yeah.
When those bombs stop bursting in air, like men who previously thought they were heterosexual suddenly find themselves clinging to each other for.
Oh, DJ Dan D is back in the room. How's it going, baby? Remember him from last week? He's from Passaic. All right, so can I get back to what Manuel said?
Because
he'll probably never hear this because he probably already deleted us from his Facebook, and he's done watching the show for good, and that's it, you know. And he was going to send us money in pesos this week, and that's not happening anymore.
I thought he was just sending corn tortillas.
The dough, yeah, he has a different
refried beans.
I know. I am so sorry about this. I am really sorry. Yeah. All right. So he asked a great question. Well, actually, here's what happened. It was on Facebook. Okay, and there was a question on Facebook, and the question was asked by some pro-Israel Zionist group, and the question, you know, because they have questions on Facebook, you know, and the question was, who was the first Zionist? Okay. Mm-hmm. And the answers provided were, and there were only three, and you couldn't add another one. Was Abraham,
yeah,
Joseph, Moses,
Theodore Herzl,
and Theodore Herzl. And I'm looking like
Abraham.
This is the stupidest question ever. So I didn't answer one of those three. I went to where you can like comment, and I wrote in a comment, and I said the first Zionists were the what's called the Bnei Ephraim, the children of in the tribe of Ephraim, in the times of the desert, when we were in the desert.
Are those the ones who went to Ethiopia?
No, those are the ones that said, let's end the we're not waiting here 40 years. Let's end the Golas, how do you say in English? The exile early, and let's all just go to the state of go to the land of Israel before God says we should go. And they were all smitten and killed in the desert by God. And I said, you know what? There's your first Zionists. Because why? Because the Zionists, like Herzl, whatever, they said, we're not waiting anymore for the Messiah. Let's just go to the state. Why do I keep saying that? Let's just go to Eretz Israel now, and we'll go live there. And this will bring the Geulah or whatever the hell. And God said no, because you're violating the oaths. And we talked about this before. There's oaths. If you look in Kesubos 111a, it's in the Talmud that there's three oaths that the Jewish people took. Well, Jewish people. Abraham took. Abraham took three oaths in the Beit Besarim, you know, and he made a covenant with God. And one of the oaths is that God is going to redeem us from. He's going to do his part. He's going to redeem us from exile. But one of the things we're not allowed to do is try to end the exile early. Pardon me. You're not supposed to bring the Mashiach. You're not supposed to bring the Messiah. You're not supposed to do things to try to speed up the Geulah. God will give the Messiah when He's ready to give it. God will bring us to Eretz Yisrael when He's ready to bring us. Right? Our job is just to worry about doing Torah and mitzvahs in wherever we are living. That is Judaism. And Zionism, in its originality, went against Judaism and said, let's push the panic button, let's take matters into our own hands, lack of emunah, lack of faith, lack of trust in God, let's throw out the promise and let's just run over there, because we're not waiting any longer. Well, that's not going to help you. Bnei Ephraim got crushed when they did that, and what do we see in the state of Israel today? They built the state of Israel, and more Jews have died in the state of Israel since the time of its inception in 1948 than the amount of Jews who have died outside of it. So clearly you see that it doesn't pay, it's not going to help you to go there. So that's why I say the first Zionists were the Bnei Ephraim, and they were killed in the desert. Okay, go ahead.
I went to a Chabad shul on a Friday night, and after Lachad Odi, they started doing the Mashiach dance. So I got up to kind of join the Lachad Odi dance, where you kind of dance around the bima, like you're all going around. And
Okay.
They're singing praises to Rebbe King Mashiach.
Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute. They did that at your Chabad?
A Chabad. I'm not going to say which Chabad. I'm going to say at a Chabad shul that I attended on Friday night. I'm not going to name any shuls, but they did. This is not the shul that I go to normally. But
Oh, okay.
It was a Chabad
Was this the one on Robertson?
We're not going to name.
Because it's a public fact that they're Mashiach, they're a nut job place.
I did not say that.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
I did not say that. So, one thing I noticed when I go there are black Jews, there are Asian Jews. Like, when you're an Orthodox Jew, or when you're religious, period, if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, you know, what race you are matters far less than your religious affiliation. So I learned that growing up Seventh-day Adventist, where we had, you know, blacks, Asians, all types, and it mattered almost not at all. And I see this in Chabad and in other Orthodox synagogues, where there are black Jews, there are Asian Jews, and again, race matters almost nothing. I had this great story the other night about this secular Jewish guy who married a Japanese woman, and he had no interest in Judaism, but she's thinking, you know, I want to learn about your heritage. She's the one who's like pushing. I want to, you know, we should light candles on Friday night, and you know, you shouldn't work on Friday night, and I'm going to make a Friday night dinner, you know, Shabbat dinner on Friday night. And let me go talk to a rabbi. I think she converts Reform, then she converts Conservative, then she converts Orthodox. So it's like the Japanese shiksa woman is like pushing and driving him to return to Torah Judaism. Great story. Thanks, sports fans.
What does that have to do with what we just talked about?
Mashiach?
Because I said that you're not supposed to try to bring the Mashiach, so you thought about Lubavitch, because there's like that thing that we're going to bring the Mashiach. And I'm like, okay, so that goes against the oaths.
But, like, if I like to dance, am I allowed to dance to Rebbe King Mashiach? If I like to dance, just because I like to dance.
Yes, it's actually, you can find this. Rabbi Feldman, who's the Rosh Hashiva of Ner Yisrael, who some people say is the biggest Talmud Chacham in North America. You know who he is? He said that you certainly cannot dance to that song when they sing it, and you should leave the room. You should not even be in a place that sings that song. If they sing that song, you can't daven there, because what they're doing is they're avodas zora, because they are doing idolatry.
So you don't think the Rebbe is the King Mashiach?
No, that goes against Judaism.
Good to know, good to know.
You know what? I'm going to talk to you after this show is over. I got two things, something we got to talk about. Okay. Not for you kids.
So this week we study...
I just want to thank Manuel for his question. Hopefully I answered it, and hopefully you're still a friend of the show after Lady was so
Hey,
good.
you got any questions for me, Manuel? You just asked me. Okay, so this week's Parashat is Chukkat. It's Numbers 19 to 22. So the ritual of the red heifer makes sense to me. Like it according to Jewish tradition, it was too much for King Solomon, but it's not too much for me. It's not like King Solomon. I'm not out banging a different woman every night. Like I'm studying
Well,
Torah.
he's married them.
Yeah, he's married to 1,000